It is a genuine privilege that I get to cover Nathan Mackinnon every single day. Avs win over the San Jose Sharks 4-3 in overtime.
Colorado has won the Stanley Cup.
I have almost zero complaints about the first two periods of this hockey game. I think the Avs came out and did exactly what they needed to do in those 40 minutes. Even when they faltered, even when they gave up a goal, their response was fantastic. They pushed back and they got the goal back. It was a team handling their business. And then the third period happened, and it bordered on catastrophe. We'll get there, though. The first period was dominant possession-wise, and the Avs this time of year are finally taking advantage of that. I say taking advantage, but it's as much getting lucky as it is anything else. What helps make this goal, as much as anything, is the unrelenting pressure from the Colorado Avalanche. As a puck in deep that bounces around, the Sharks do come away with it initially, but the Avs just hounding the puck force them to move it quickly and make mistakes. This is not a cleared puck. This is just a straight-up turnover for Colorado. So it heads back to the point. The Avs remain in control. Jack Johnson decides to one-time one. This is a save if the puck gets through clean, but it ends up with a little redirect on the way in, and wouldn't you know it, the Avs are up 1. Sometimes the difference is very small. Earlier in the year, a lot of those pucks for Colorado were hitting the defenseman and not going on net. Now, they're not only going on net, they're going in the net. And less than 2 minutes later, they keep the pressure up and make it a 2-goal lead. Just want to show you how much space Nathan Mackinnon creates here. He gets players to completely commit to him along the wall, and he even gets a double commit. There's just all of a sudden so much room. Obviously the far side, which the Avs are playing away from, but even on the near side, you have lanes, you have gaps to work with, just because Nathan Mackinnon exists and is able to escape from double coverage. Mikko's able to hold the puck down in deep. He just kind of looks, waits patiently, finds Mackinnon cutting into what is that space as they've gotten stuck on this double team out in the perimeter. You still don't really have a great opportunity here. Mackinnon does that spinny backhand thing that just never works, but he gets it to the net. And Erod has been there the whole time. He's found the position, the rebound comes out, he's able to control it, and basically picks up an easy one. I love this goal from Colorado. This is the type of stuff that shows me they're ramping up to playoff form. Across this season, they have not scored on rebounds nearly enough. That's just a fact. Seeing them get to the dirty areas, seeing them execute on that. We've seen a lot of good rebounds come out from Colorado, but them just not able to find them. When you have guys working hard on your top line, digging in, finding those pucks and finishing them, easy to be confident in this hockey team. In the second period, largely felt the same way. The Avs weren't able to find that next goal, the third goal, to really put this game down, but it wasn't for lack of playing well. Despite their puck dominance, they do eventually make one mistake in the second period. Bad decisions might be the number one reason the Colorado Avalanche give up goals. This puck is in deep. It's a prayer of a play from Eller. I don't hate it, but it ends up going directly to San Jose. The Avs are okay here, but look at the situation. 3 forwards in deep. Your defense cannot pinch here, and for whatever reason, Taves just YOLOs in. He just goes for the pinch, even though this is a terrible spot to do so, and that leads to a 2-on-1 the other way. It's just a terrible decision. This one comes in, LeBanc walks in, he ultimately decides to shoot the puck. Maybe would like to see Sam challenge a little bit more there. If he's not going to take the passing lane, properly take the shooter. But this is an unbelievably good shot. It's just the perfect shot up over Georgiev. Of course, you want a better decision from Devon Taves there, but I'm willing to tip the cap here to San Jose. That's a beautiful shot that just beats Georgiev. And while you don't love the goal, the response was perfect from Colorado. They come out after getting scored on, they're hungry, they push even harder, they continue to bury the Sharks in opportunities. When the Avs play like this, them scoring just feels inevitable. I gotta say, for a team that has struggled with faceoffs a lot over the past 3-4 years, the last half of the season here, they've created a lot off of them, and this is no different. Compher is able to win one back to his defense. Taves collects. You get it, a perfect set play. Back to the half wall where Mikko one-touches it to Mac, who's slided into the soft gap in the coverage. This isn't even a very good shot. Mac doesn't put a great one on this, but it does go 5-hole. Definitely not one that's going to go on the all-time highlight reel for Nathan Mackinnon, but a goal is a goal. Mackinnon is one of the best players in the world at giving his chance a shot to go in. Only David Pastrnak has more shots on goal this season, and Pasta has played 12 more games than MacKinnon. It's hard to put MacKinnon into a box. He has unbelievable skating, but he's also incredibly strong. He has a very good shot, not elite, but shoots with enough volume that he scores regularly. His agility is unbelievable, especially his first step. He just beats people with it all the time. And while you do see him try to force passes at times, his vision is actually very, very good as well. I think a lot of people underrate his defense too. Not that it's elite or anything like that, but when you compare it to other top players in the world like Connor McDavid, MacKinnon definitely has the edge on the defensive side of the ice. So the Avs are set up nicely. Up 2 going into the third period, they've played really well to this point, and we see them, once again, just kind of shut it off in the third. If you get into the last 10 or the last 5, you know what? You're probably safe. You can probably get away with some of that, but you cannot come out at the start of the third period and let the other team take over. Even then, the Avs probably would have survived this game if it wasn't for some major mistakes. You take a terrible penalty about 5 minutes into the period and give San Jose an opportunity that you just didn't need to. Naturally, they convert. The Sharks working on the power play on the outside here. They work it down the far half wall and eventually in behind their own net, and you can already see what has happened. Girard is coming in to take the passing lane. You would like him to cover the passing lane a little bit better for sure, but JC Compher just gets beat. He's just behind his man, cutting to the middle of the ice. You just need better positioning. You need a better effort from JT Compher here. A guy getting the puck in the middle of your ice, yeah, it usually results in a goal. Look, I always say the number one way to stop power play goals against is to not take the penalty in the first place. And while that's true, JT Compher just can't get beat to the slot there. That's the one area that you really do not want to give opportunities up from on a power play. If they beat you from outside, if a great play beats you, fine. But you just can't let a guy get you in the middle of your own ice. So that's bad, right? The Avs make it a 1-goal game by punishing themselves. There's no two ways around that. But had they responded to that the same way they did in getting scored on in the second period, this game was still easily in hand. The Avs just had to go out and be the better team like they had been for the majority of the game. The most disappointing part of this game is the fact that they didn't have that response again. Instead of taking care of business, that play amped up the Sharks push, and the Avs seemed like they were just hanging on. In fact, within a minute and a half, the game was tied. Byram chasing in coverage here, and he is a little bit behind. He's never really able to catch up and defend effectively here, but that isn't really the problem. As this goes in behind the net, Byram cuts around to take it this way, and you see multiple miscombobulations here. Nieto is expecting a handoff from Byram where he steps up and follows with the man along the boards. Byram is also sticking with him, but he plays it to the outside. He's expecting to stay with the man to the outside instead of cutting through the middle. This means there's just enough room to slip this puck through the crease across, and beyond this, you have Sam Girard, who just gets bodied net front. He just doesn't have the effort to find this puck, control it, or anything. He just gets beat. Totally get why you would be concerned about this hockey team when they've continued to play third periods like this throughout the season. Thankfully, down the stretch here, they've found ways to win these games more often than not, even if they do make life a lot harder on themselves. But it's a real concern. And while I do think it will be easier for the Avs to get up and stay up for the entirety of playoff games, if you start doing stuff like this in the playoffs, you're gonna find yourself in trouble. Thankfully, though, the Avs are able to hang on through regulation, and just getting that 1 point clinched a playoff berth for them. And the overtime itself was a horrendous, sloppy mess, but it ended with an absolute bang. There have been a boatload of mistakes in this overtime, including the Avs giving up a 2-on-0, which Georgiev somehow stopped, but this is the one that broke it. EK looks back, he even does a head check. He sees where his team is and tries to throw this puck back up and out to his team. Instead, he throws it directly to Devon Taves. MacKinnon already has a step by the time Taves has the puck, and from there, he's just gone. It's a clean breakaway. MacKinnon does something very important here. He recognizes how much space he has. You often see players panic a little bit and don't think they have the time to pull off a move and just kind of skate it in and shoot. MacKinnon knows he can use this upper area and do whatever he wants, and that's exactly what he does. He pulls it to his forehand side, he really fakes the high glove, which everyone knows he loves to shoot at, and instead he just holds it for that extra little bit Gets just enough of a commit. You see just Mackinnon doesn't slide across, and then Mackinnon just beats him on that blocker side. I'm pretty convinced Nathan Mackinnon will be the best forward I get to directly cover in my lifetime. I grew up with legends like Joe Sakic and Peter Forsberg, but that was when I was a kid. I didn't really have as close a relationship to the team as I do when I work covering it, and I don't really know how to say it. Nathan Mackinnon is just better than everyone else. Yeah, I don't even think he's the best player in the world. You have Connor McDavid there, but on any given night, he can absolutely be that guy. And it's funny, in the years to come, you're going to have debates on who is better, Nathan MacKinnon or Cale Makar, and that is part of what makes the Avs so special. They just have more talent than everybody else. Nathan Mackinnon absolutely deserves the 100-point mark. He probably deserved to hit it multiple times over the last 5 years, but he's finally made it there. And in an amazing way, too. It's not just him reaching that milestone. It's the Avs winning this game. It's him carrying this team to where they need to go. That's who Nathan Mackinnon is for the Colorado Avalanche. That is the end of this game video review. Thank you for watching. Head on over to thednvr.com for all of our coverage. I am Rudo, and I don't think people understand how many points 100 really is.